What's up guys, my name is Crescent and let's be real, no one likes to pay taxes. Well, the long arm of the tax man has finally reached all the way to Alibaba. And if you haven't already noticed, there's a new line on the Alibaba invoices that says tax. Ick. And of course, no one wants to pay taxes if you don't have to, so why is Alibaba suddenly charging sales tax? Well, in this video, let's talk about that and how it affects you, and I'll show you how you can easily avoid paying this new tax added by Alibaba. And do you know what else you can do easily? Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me out tremendously by letting YouTube know to show this video to more people, and I would really appreciate it, so thank you. And with that said, let's begin. So if you've tried to make a purchase or ask for a quote recently on Alibaba, you've probably noticed a new tax line on the invoice. Alibaba never charged sales tax before, so why the sudden change? Well, recent changes in legislation has deemed Alibaba as a marketplace facilitator to third-party sellers, similar to eBay and Amazon, so Alibaba is now required to collect and remit sales tax. That's why we're seeing this new tax line on the quotes and invoices. But in case you didn't know, having to pay sales tax only applies to the end user, not the retailer, wholesaler, or supplier. The end user is the person that is actually going to use the product for its intended purpose. For example, if you buy a tube of toothpaste and you're actually going to use it to brush your teeth, then you're the end user, so you have to pay the sales tax. However, if you're Target or Walmart and you're buying toothpaste with the intent to sell it, then you're a retailer and you don't pay sales tax. This is the same if you're doing private label and you're manufacturing products to sell under your own brand. You don't pay sales tax. So if you're watching this video, then I'm assuming you're not the end user. So how do you get around having to pay the sales tax on Alibaba? Well, if you already have an Alibaba account, then you probably already got an email notification letting you know about the change and what you can do about it. You can see here that it says, to get verified as a tax-exempt buyer, you can sign up for our Alibaba US sales tax exemption program called ASTEP. And if we jump over to the help section, it says, the ASTEP is a program that can easily help buyers identify himself or herself as an eligible tax-exempt buyer for US sales tax purposes. All you have to do is enroll in the ASTEP program by completing a few steps and answering some questions, which I'll go over with you in a second. And subject to tax law requirements and changes, once Alibaba confirms you as an eligible tax-exempt buyer, your future purchases eligible for exemption will not be subject to sales tax at checkout. And I should mention here that if you haven't already figured this out, this new sales tax issue only applies to US-based buyers. Alright, so in order to enroll in ASTEP, you'll need to have the following information: the states which you have sales tax exemption certificates or qualification, entity type of your organization, organization's address and exemption numbers or exemption form, if applicable. Now, as for the tax exemption certificate, this is typically issued to you by the state where you registered your business. How you get that tax exemption certificate varies by state, so it's beyond the scope of this video, but if you don't have one already, you can visit your state's government website and you'll probably find information on how to get it. For example, my business is registered here in Washington State. If I do a quick search on Google for Washington State Sales Tax Exemption Certificate, the first link conveniently takes me to what I need to do. You can also find more information on how to apply for sales tax exemption certificates for your state on this website here. And I'll leave a link to it in the video description below. Okay, now, once you have your sales tax exemption certificate, you'll need to jump onto Alibaba to enroll in ASTEP. Now, if you don't already have an Alibaba account, you'll have to create one. Just click on the My Alibaba button at the top and create a new account. Now, after you've signed in, click on Alibaba, My Account, My Profile. In the My Company section, click on Edit and fill in your details. If you have a registered business, enter the business name here. Otherwise, you can just make one up. All right, now once you've done that, you can apply for the ASTEP program. So click on My Alibaba, Account, Tax Information, Add Modify Tax Exemption. Now on this first page, make sure you read through the terms and conditions here so you understand what's going on here and that it's applicable to you or not. Now once you've done that, click on the checkbox to agree and then click on Start Your Application. Now in this first step, click on the state that your business is registered in or has tax exemption status. Now it doesn't matter if you're selling on Amazon or Shopify or whatever and you're selling products all over the country. This is the home state where you're conducting your business in. If you don't have a registered business, this is the state where you live. In my case, my business is registered in Washington State. Okay, and on this next field, you're going to need to choose the exemption type. Here's where you need to provide a reason why you need a tax exemption. Now, there's a lot of options to choose from here, but most are not going to apply to us. For most of us here, we're doing private label or wholesale, so we're going to choose resale, which is one of the two most popular options. We're buying inventory or products with the intent to resell it. The second most popular option is industrial production/manufacturing. You would choose this option if you're selling a product that requires you to buy parts and assemble them together for the final product. For example, if you're selling a lawnmower and you need to buy the plastic wheels and the engine from another manufacturer and then assemble those parts into the final lawnmower to sell, you don't need to pay sales tax on those subcomponents. Okay, so then click on continue. All right, so on this step, you're gonna have to provide your business details. Again, if you don't have a registered business, just use your personal information here and make up a business name. Once you've filled in all of the fields, click on continue. All right, and on to the next step. You're gonna need to answer a few questions on this page. The answers you provide here will help pre-fill the tax exemption form or resale tax certificate for your state. So keep in mind, the tax exemption form or resale certificate varies by state. So the questions you see on this step may differ from what you're seeing on my screen. So in this case, for Washington State, I need to choose the exemption type. And in my case, I'm gonna choose resale. And I need to select the type of business. And I'm gonna choose manufacturing. And finally, do I have a Washington registration number? I do. And in my case, I have a business tax account ID. And then click on continue. And now in this step, we're going to make our signature. So just scribble something with your mouse. That looks terrible, but anyway, click on continue. Okay, so now you can download the completed application form. And based on all of the information you just entered, it filled in the proper tax exemption form for you, as you can see here. And this is what's going to be submitted to the state. Now, once you have it downloaded, make sure you go over everything to make sure everything looks correct and the information is accurate. Make sure you look through this thoroughly so that the application isn't rejected. So once you've done that, click on submit. All right, so now you can see that the application was submitted successfully. So click on return to homepage. All right, so now on this page, you can see the status of the current application. You can see that the current status is in the reviewing state. Now the approval process will take some time, so you'll just have to come back and visit this page to see what stage your application is in. Once the status changes to verified, then you'll know you've been approved. All right, and that's it. Once your exemption is active, you should no longer see you're being charged tax on Alibaba. However, if for some reason you still see the tax line, contact Alibaba support. Don't contact the supplier that you're working with, they can't help you. All the transactions are taken care of by Alibaba, not the supplier. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with me, you can find all of my contact details in the video description below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment or question in the comment section below. I answer every single one. And as always, if you found value in this video, consider subscribing. And do me a favor, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It does help me out a lot, and I'd appreciate it. And make sure you ring that bell so you never miss a future video. All right, thanks for watching.